Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for attending and joining us today on this 12 p.m. Eastern Time on a Thursday. Hope your week is going great. My goodness, hadn't it been, can you believe the year is almost half? It's over half. Oh my gosh, ain't it unbelievable? We're halfway through the 2024. Blows my mind. So thank you all for coming to this. This is going to be amazing. Our goal here is to help you really drop some nuggets that can really help you accelerate, not just on LinkedIn or social, but skills and tools like arrows in the quiver that you can use across the board, right? You can repurpose and tell your story and attract people that want what you have to offer them, right? We all have value. We all have things that we can offer, but think about it. If you have a Picasso in a cave and the lights are off, it's not very useful, is it? So we're going to teach you a little bit on how to get that visibility, get that spotlight aligned with you to be able to have a clear message to get in front, cut the noise, and start attracting ideal clients and prospects. And so there's nobody else better for this subject than the great Rebecca Whitman. She is here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Mike. It's so great to be here with you. We had such a great conversation last week on my podcast, and I thought I want to keep learning more about how you build on LinkedIn and continue the conversation and add a couple great points about how to tell your story from my perspective. And I'm so excited that you accepted this last minute invitation.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Absolutely. We were introduced by the great Tanya Eberhart with Brand
We
Face.
love her.
Uh,
Yes.
oh my goodness. Hey, like birds of a feather flock together, everyone. So, hey, grab a coffee, grab a drink, whatever it is, sit back, take notes, have fun. Feel free to network in the comments. I know we're across multiple platforms, all of them. So, multiple accounts. So, thank you for this. Love spending your time. So, ask questions. We'll do our best to put them on at the end to answer some questions. We'll do our best to get to all of them, time allowing. I want to respect your time. But yeah, let's get to it. I'll go ahead and introduce Rebecca because she has a great story, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. So thank you first of all for sponsoring this and hosting this, Rebecca. Amazing. So you are the Magnetic Abundance Mentor, right? International best-selling author, graduated with honors from Princeton University. She was awarded Life Coach of the Year and Empowered Woman of the Year by International Association of Top Professionals. USA Today, we've heard of that, rated her in the top 5 entrepreneurs to watch in 2024. Well, they got that right. All right. She hosts the top 1% globally ranked Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant podcast, which won the Positive Change Award. Her philosophy divides life into 7 pillars of abundance, which include spiritual, physical, emotional, romantic, mental, social, and physical or financial. She also helps achieve balance with these 7 areas, and they can experience more fun and freedom in life. All right, she's been featured in New York Weekly, Miami Magazine, and LA Weekly magazines. In addition to her appearances on ABC and CBS, she also guests in 100 podcasts. Wow. She has also given keynote speeches at Columbia University and UCLA and has shared virtual stages with renowned thought leaders, Grant Cardone, Jack Canfield, and Les Brown. So, pretty good resume. So excited for you to be here and cannot wait to hear from you, Rebecca.
Hi, thank you so much, Mike. It's so great to be here. And those words are so kind. I'm just shocked. I can't believe that I was ever rated Life Coach of the Year or Empowered Woman of the Year because that was never my plan in life. I moved to LA to pursue acting, and I had small parts on big shows like Friends, CSI, and 24. And I never got that big break. I fell into the children's acting school business. And I'm going to tell the rest of my story as part of the exercise because today is all about storytelling. And I'm so excited to be here to tell you guys how important it is to learn how to tell your story, both online and on stage. I would say if there's 2 skill sets to get great at in this new online space, it's storytelling and questions. Questions go with active listening. And of course, storytelling is how people get to like, know, and trust you. And when they like, know, and trust you, They will potentially become your client, buy your product, good, or service. So you want to get really good at telling your story. So I will tell you this. I had an opportunity to study storytelling with Lisa Nichols. And if you don't know her, she is one of the best motivational speakers in the world. And she gave me a couple styles of storytelling that I want to share with you today because they are just fire. They are so good. You definitely want to take notes because they're very step by step technical. The first one is called the valley. So the valley is, it's also known as the dip or the valley. It's a moment in time unpacked to deliver your vulnerable moment of fear, trepidation, and weakness. Then you journey to the other side of this fear, which leads to strength, power, and conviction. So I'm going to break down my story, which I started to tell in this style. So you start with a humble brag. I said, I'm shocked and I can't even believe that USA ranked me top 5 entrepreneurs to watch and, empowered woman of the year. That's how I start my valley, with a humble brag. You can also use these amazing phrases. What most people know about me is, I could say, what most people know about me is I'm life coach of the year. You can start the humble brag with, I'm still blown away that I've been able to achieve. So whatever it is, I'm still blown away that I've been able to achieve $100 million in all commission sales over my 30-year sales career. You can also start your humble brag with, when people look at me, they see somebody who is happy and confident. So I'm going to repeat those. You definitely want to write these down because this is a formula. The first one is, what most people know about me is. The second one is, I'm still blown away that I've been able to achieve. And the third one is, when people look at me, they see someone who. Then the valley, you go into your darkest hour. You share a difficult time in your life, emotionally relevant to your message. So I am going to go into my valley. So I never did get that big break to pursue acting, although I had small parts on big shows like Friends, CSI, and 24. I couldn't make it as an actress, and I was really sad about that, but at least I stumbled into the children's acting business, which I really, really love because I don't have kids. And while the kids were off at school, I was studying with great thought leaders like Michael Beckwith, Esther Hicks, Louise Hay, may she rest in peace, Marianne Williamson. And I was doing a deep dive into the law of attraction. I started applying it to my job at the kids' acting school. Before I knew it, I was making 6 figures. I applied it to my health. I applied it to my social life, and I was doing a lot better in those areas. The one area that I was not able to apply it to was my love life. I had the habit of picking narcissistic, emotionally unavailable men and trying to change them and convince them that I was worth loving. And I decided to marry one. And we all know how that story ends, right? It was a very, very painful marriage. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to being in a toxic relationship and not being able to leave because there are certain things you like about the person, but you know deep in your heart of hearts that it's just not a good relationship. And it was a really, really painful and hard decision that I made to leave this person, because all my life I had just dreamt of like being married and living with my soulmate, and admitting that the relationship was going to end in divorce was a huge, huge defeat for me, and very sad because it was like the defeat of a big lifelong dream. So as my marriage was slowly and painfully unraveling, it just so happened that my dad was getting sick and he was slowly and painfully dying in a nursing home. And I don't know if you've ever watched somebody that you love get old and weak, but my dad was like this, big, larger than life alpha male, a doctor, like huge, loud personality, and just seeing him like waste away to nothingness. Oh my God, it was heartbreaking. And I would go back every month and visit him in the nursing home. And we would have really heartfelt conversations because I didn't want to leave anything on the table, not knowing if this conversation with my dad would be my last. And in one of our last conversations, he said, Rebecca, I think you should write a book. And I was like, what? I'm not a writer. I'm in LA. I'm working at a kids acting school. He's like, yeah, the way that you think is really different. And I think you should write a book. So it just so happened one of the hardest weeks of my life, my dad's funeral was on a Wednesday and my divorce was finalized on a Friday. So within 72 hours, my dad and my marriage were gone. And although I was completely devastated, I just kept showing up. I kept doing what I needed to do to take care of my health, to take care of my finances, to take care of my dog. And a few months later, I was sitting across the desk from my financial planner and he looked at me in shock. So, by the way, if I'm talking about storytelling, I've just completed the second part, which is the valley. Now I'm on my climb up. Okay. So, the third part of the story is what happened as a result of hitting the valley. So, how you came out of the darkness, how you were inspired by your challenge, and it ends with sharing your mission. So, I kept showing up. I kept working out. I kept showing up to all my business meetings and my sales calls. And I just kept showing up for everyone the best I could. But most importantly, I showed up for myself. And I was like, I'm not going to self-abandon even though I'm heartbroken. And I ended up sitting across the desk from my financial planner. And he looked at me in shock. And he said, Rebecca, I'm looking at your portfolio, and with all your investments and stocks, you are a self-made millionaire, which I find very interesting because this is the same year you lost your dad in your marriage. And I think you should write a book and inspire people on how you were so resilient. So I was like, that's it. My dad asked me to write a book. My financial planner said what I should write it about. And I wrote a book on how to make a six-figure income working part-time. You can get it on Amazon and Audible. And in the book, I divide life into 7 key areas, which I call my 7 pillars of abundance: spirituality, physical, emotional, romantic, mental, social, and financial. And when you have all 7 areas of life in alignment, you can be, do, or have anything you want. So now I coach women and a few good men on how to go from burned out and overwhelmed to balanced, beautiful, and abundant. I coach women one-on-one group coaching. I'm leading my 2nd international retreat in Belize, Central America at a luxury wellness spa. So it's in the pillar link that Michael's going to drop if you want to apply to that. So that is how you tell your story. And as a result of going through that humongous challenge, I am now like living my wildest dreams. I'm married to my soulmate. I'm living my mission, which is to inspire women to go from burned out and overwhelmed to balanced, beautiful, and abundant. And I'm just so grateful for all the pain and all the hardship that I walked through, because now I'm on the other side and I'm pulling other people up the mountain and say, if I can get to the other side and be successful, so can you. So that was the first way to tell your story. It's called The Valley. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat on how to tell your story using the valley or the dip method. But basically, you start with a humble brag, then you share your darkest hour, and then you share how you came out of the darkest hour, which leads to your mission. The second type of way to tell your story is called the me, we, you format. This is really great for writing posts on social media, doing stories, doing lives. So this is a lot simpler. The me is, there was a time when I. So I will say, because one of the things I do promote are health and wellness products. So let's just talk about weight loss to make it really simple. Okay. There was a time when I was 10 pounds overweight And no matter what I did, how hard I worked out, how many diets I tried, if I hired a personal trainer or not, I still couldn't lose that 10 pounds. So that's the me. The we have a tendency to beat ourselves up and wonder, like, why am I not able to reach my health and wellness goals? I feel like I'm doing everything right. I might as well just give up. I'm always going to be overweight anyway, so why care? Why try? I might as well have like that extra donut or that extra piece of pizza, or whatever it is, and not work out. So we have a tendency, when we don't reach our goal, just to totally give up. The you is, have you ever given up on your health and wellness goals? Like maybe January 1, you start out really gung ho, like this is the year I'm going to get in shape. I'm totally going to do it this year. I'm going to work out. I'm going to eat clean. I'm going to drink the water. I'm going to do all this stuff. I'm going to get my steps in. And then it's like, now it's June and it's like, we're halfway through the year. I'm just going to chalk this year up for, it's just not going to happen for me this year. I'll get in shape next year. Have you ever just rationalized with yourself or talked yourself out of your dream or goal? It could be physical, financial, romantic. Have you guys ever done that? I know I've done it a lot. So what I discovered was, I discovered this amazing 5-day detox that I did. It rebooted my metabolism. It got everything going again. I lost 5 pounds in 5 days, and then I had a really easy food plan to follow. I've been doing it all year. I've lost 15 pounds. I'm in the best shape of my life since high school. And I never, ever thought I could feel this fit and this strong at age 53, which is how old I am. So if you're interested in learning more about what I did, send me a DM, or, drop a 5-day drop in the comments. So that's how you would do a social media post, using the me, we, you story method. Me, there was a time when I is the phrase to start with. We have a tendency to. You, have you ever, then you share the solution, and then you do a call to action. So I am pretty much done. I'll take some questions if you have any. Otherwise, I'm so excited to help you wherever you feel stuck. Are you stuck in your health and wellness goals? Are you stuck in a dead end relationship? Are you stuck in your financial goals and not sure why you're hitting a ceiling? I am going to offer a complimentary breakthrough call to the first 3 people who click the link that Michael just dropped in the comments. And the first 3 people who book a complimentary breakthrough call will get a signed copy of this book. And more importantly, we'll get you unstuck. I'm going to give you a customized affirmation or mantra that every time you think the old limiting belief that's keeping you stuck, you'll get a new affirmation, so we can start to rewire your brain and reprogram so you can get a different result. So that is the end of my part on storytelling. Drop an emoji, a fire emoji, if you found that valuable. If you're going to use that storytelling method, I would love to see if you guys receive that and if you found that valuable. I know it comes from Lisa Nichols, who's just the best of the best motivational speaker. So now I'm going to introduce my friend, Mike Ashebrander, who grew up in the hills of Kentucky. He was taught the importance of good education, work ethic, and always had a knack for bringing people together. Despite these admirable qualities, in 2010, he found himself in a tough spot most Americans did: bankruptcy. He immediately reached out to a financial advisor who became a mentor and helped him turn his life around. He even encouraged him to leverage his own experience to become a financial coach and help others. That business rapidly grew, and Mike found himself at the center of another major epiphany. People were enthralled by his down-to-earth advice and endearing redneck persona. Every day he woke up to messages from strangers who had become best friends, expressing gratitude for his guidance and inspiration. That's actually how he became known as a redneck financial coach. Today, Mike serves as an unconventional advisor who helps established entrepreneurs grow their net worth through his network. His Redneck Coach title is perfect for the description of his straight shooting strategies and down to earth advice. He's recognized for pioneering a lively and loyal online community called the Hounds of Business, and he has created Hound Pack principles that give his clients immediate access to an instant community. He's a multi certified financial advisor known for helping his clients fund their future and multiply their money. And of course, he's world famous, as you can see, for his camouflage cap and cool country proverbs, which I'm sure you'll hear him some today, that leave crowds calling for an encore. Welcome to the stage, Mike Ashebrander.
Wow, I feel like Apollo Creed from Rocky. Man, that was a great long introduction. I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. I think it's remarkable. I seen the comments. The vulnerability you went through that, and now you use your experience to help others. You figured out how to how not to do it and how to do it well. So now you help other people not go through years of the same stuff. And isn't that what it's all about? Honestly, right? It gives it meaning. It gives it purpose, right? And I love it. So thank you so much for sharing that, Rebecca. G Guys, I'm super excited to be able to share this with you. Just a little bit, if you don't know me, uh, I am the proud and humble leader of the Hounds of Business. Absolutely blown away. About 2 years ago, I accidentally started this thing. And if you look at, you might have heard Chris Rock joke about Mark Zuckerberg creating Facebook because he didn't have any friends. Well, that's exactly why the heck I created the Hounds of Business. I didn't set out to do it, didn't plan on it, uh, but it happened, and I'm glad it did. And honestly, the long story short is that everybody's got that COVID story, right? That pivotal COVID story. And I still am. My business is still in financial coaching. I love helping people, not just the wealthy, but I love helping regular folks like me, school teachers, right? People starting their businesses, right? People need that as much as everybody else. And that's kind of how I modeled the Hounds Pack principles. So just so you'll know, the Hounds of Business, you can scan that QR code. I use that. That's really in conjunction with what I teach, right? My social media, the LinkedIn help I give folks, the coaching, classwork to teach heart centered, high level service professionals, right? We have a lot of value and we just struggle to figure out how to do it. And so for 2 years after COVID, they told me I couldn't go out and play anymore, right? Everybody's got that COVID story. So I said, "My goodness, I'm gonna be homeless. Like, I don't know what am I supposed to do?" So about 38 years old, I went on social media, mostly LinkedIn, and not proud of it, but hey, I started pitch slapping with a P, pitch slapping and spamming people because I didn't know what to do. I mean, essentially, I showed up to a football game with a baseball bat, right? And you all can relate to that. It wasn't that I was bad. I thought I was bad. I thought people didn't want what I had to offer, didn't like me. The problem was I didn't know the rules to the game. All right. And so, long story shorter, what I wanted to do is I said, you know what? Instead of trying to pretend not to sell and go through all this stuff that I don't like, all this hunter mentality. I'm not knocking it. It's just not for me, right? I wanted to build authentic relationships. I wanted to connect with people, right? That shared my values, that I knew I could help, and that would come to me for help. Attract those people, right? Build that value base and that know, like, and trust. So that's what I did. I just started finding people like me who were struggling along and trying to build their businesses and figure LinkedIn out and all these kind of things and start putting them in a group. Right, and then I started just helping them out, love on them. I became a impromptu dating coach, whatever I could do to help people with my experience, just like Rebecca was talking about, right? And guess what? More people came and more people came, like the movie Field of Dreams, right? Build it and they will come. That's exactly what happened. And so today, we are really expanding and growing. And think of it this way: I teach the formula, right? How to do this in a systematic way, right? It doesn't have to be a chore. You don't have to be confused, right? You can learn how to go out there, build healthy relationships, and have a formula that you can do every day to go out there and find ideal clients, right? Simple as that. And then you have the playground. Well, where do I connect with people like me, people who share my values and people who could really use my services? Well, that's the Hounds of Business, right? So those two in unison really super ignite coaches, experts, guides, folks that are really looking to drum up their business in a heart-centered, attraction-based way. All right, so I got that done. Let me go into it. So after 2 years of leading community, helping people, and figuring it out, all right, and here's how I figured it out. By process of elimination. I pretty much screwed it up every way possible until I was only left with the right a way to do it. And again, I'm not knocking anybody else or anything else. There's lots of different tools for lots of different jobs. But what I had found is if you're someone who just like me, does not like to go out there and really, it feels pushy or it feels uncomfortable. That's what this was created for. So what people don't like, that the people that we help serve and help teach and do things for so they can grow and thrive and share their value on LinkedIn and other social media. It's simple. All right. They just there's too much emphasis on vanity metrics for them. Right. It's okay if you're trying to promote something generally, but if you're trying to connect with somebody behind the algorithm, if you're trying to take this off the rented space of LinkedIn or social media and build a relationship, it's very difficult if you don't know the formula to do that. It takes a lot of time. So you're posting, you're doing all these things. It takes hours, and people are running a business. They have families. They just don't have the time for it. One size doesn't fit all, right? What a neuroscientist can do, maybe a coach can't do. So there's principles that everybody needs to accept, right? Like gravity. Gravity doesn't discriminate, neither do principles of marketing, right? But your own voice, how you put those in play, that makes a difference. So also individual strategies, right? So it depends on what you're trying to do. Maybe you're trying to promote your book and get that going, right? Maybe you're trying to get people to subscribe to your online course. There's many, many different ways to do it. But if you're somebody who's trying to grow or expand your business, maybe you're an entrepreneur, take notes to this, ask questions. I'll do my best to get to it. And also, you will be able to find me on obviously LinkedIn. I will put my calendar link, it disappeared, um, but you can also email me anytime that you want to learn more about this, guys. And there's three outcomes. Number one, you just need some tips. All right, I'll give them to you. And here's what I ask: the next time somebody is having a challenge and a struggle with growing their business or can't figure out social media, say, "Hey, I know a redneck." All right, that's why I'll give you free tips. Number two, you may not need me. I'll just be honest. I am so tired. I hate seeing bald people getting sold haircuts, right? If it's not the right fit, then you shouldn't do it. But there's too many options. It's hard to understand it. So through my community, we have vetted people that we can refer you to. Say, hey, you don't need me. You need someone else. Maybe you need Rebecca, right? Maybe you need help with something else in your life. Maybe you need branding help or some kind of structural issue. We can refer you to somebody. And number three, absolutely, I can help you. All right. So let's have that conversation. If you're stuck or you're wanting to go to the next level, let's just have that conversation. Then say yes or no. So here's what I want to go through: marketing and sales cycle. All right. And this is what I've experienced, and this is not really new, but the application is different, right? How I teach this. So we go through the first bucket: know, like, and trust. It really starts with the mindset. If you get your mindset correct, because it's hard for a lot of people, it was very hard for me to sit down and spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, especially after COVID. And I'm still doing it. I'm almost all virtual now. Right. But if my mindset is, I'm just clicking buttons, making comments, going through stuff. I don't have a strategy. I'm every time I turn around, I'm trying something new because this person said that or this person said that, then it's very, very frustrating, right? It's hard. It's like jumping in your car trying to find your friend's house, but you don't have an address. You're just driving around town screaming out the window. And that's how a lot of us feel. A lot of the people I work with and the hounds and people just in general feel very lost. But here's the deal: through the hounds, I knew if I could go out there and be seen, that visibility I talked about, and people got to know, like, and trust me, then that's all I needed. Because if I have the best solution, think about it, two halves of a circle. They know, like, and trust me because we spent time, we've built that organic relationship. Then I have the best solution available. What's left? Nothing, right? That's the ecosystem that we create in the hounds. And the formula is what I'm teaching you today and what I teach others. So I'm just taking a little excerpt from this. Now, the hardest part is the journey from trust to try and buy, right? And I think of this just like dating, right? Just building relationships, right? Trust to try and buy. Some people will get married in Vegas tomorrow, boom, right? Some people will hold hands and pop kiss for 10 years. Most of us fall somewhere in the middle, correct? And that's where the art and nuance, 30% of success for folks like us trying to grow our businesses and attract clients, that is that's a big deal because we have to understand it's a nuance, right? Some people will be faster than others. So there's a way that we can track these things and keep up with these things. But what's important is that we put our best foot forward and attract people to us. All right. And then we go to try and buy. Right. Pretty easy. Now someone gave you permission. You generated curiosity, you brought them value, you shared your crayons, you practiced your dadgum kindergarten skills, right? And then the third bucket is not referrals. Fierce advocates who can't stop talking about you, right? People who will come to a coffee chat and they'll start talking about you for some reason. And then you get referrals, right? And why? Because we did it to them, right? Reciprocity, right? Like attracts like. So that's the mindset. And this just isn't for social media or LinkedIn. This is just in general. You use this stuff anywhere and you should. So, how do we apply this? All right. Well, the difference is when I started, the emphasis is and still oftentimes is in a lot of programs on the content profile and engagement. And we always hear that content is king. And a lot of platforms, that is true, right? You throw good content, people see it. LinkedIn, though, is a different animal. It really is. LinkedIn plays by its own different rules. There's different reasons people are there. It's a different market, right? Different types of folks in it. So, what I had learned is get this right. And I'll go over it. I'm going to give you guys one little thing that you can do here soon. All right. That will absolutely move the needle if you work it every day. For just 5 to 7 days, you'll see the needle move. So hang in there with me. I'll get there. All right. I promise. But you have to get the mind and the reason why. Right. Once you do that, you're excited. All right. Then you'll be able to do it for a week or so and then come back and tell me it works. All right. But it is, you start with content, profile, and engagement. I'll show you the order to do it. And but that's not where we end, right? We got to go to the next phase, which is attracting, sorting, connecting, not just growing followers. Yes, you need to do that, but we're trying to attract people that we can serve, right? People who have a problem and we have that solution and they know it and they're willing to do that with us because we garnered know, like, and trust. Does that make sense? All right, good. So, and then how do we do it? Well, first of all, let me tell you, don't try to sell from the content. Do not try to sell from the first basics, right? Use that as a call to action, right? Funnel. Think about this real basic, guys. You probably know this, but think about it and utilize this mindset when you're on LinkedIn. It'll make a world of difference. Think about your funnel, right? Sales funnel, whatever you want to call it. People are going into, right? If you're doing it the attraction based way, people are voluntarily jumping in that funnel. Well, the only reason they would fall out is because they don't know what else to do, right? Our messaging got, complicated, and we didn't put them do what we needed to do to get them out the bottle because they wanted to go out. They wanted the solution. So that's where the next part of this comes from. Half of this is LinkedIn and specifics and algorithm. The other half is business, right? Knowing our funnels, knowing our call to action, understanding our clients, understanding our story, right? How we present that and going all the way to the almighty sales call. But by the time we get to the sales call, they're already good. It's not a daunting task. It's not a fear-based task because we've already planted the seeds, right? We've cultivated that natural relationship with that ideal client, right? And then the messaging and these things can be used. It's not just LinkedIn. We can take, for example, we can take a webinar, right? We can take a live stream, make it a podcast, make it into a newsletter, a blog, email list. So there's a lot of things more than just posting and doing it well and getting visible. It's about closing business and having a system and a formula that you can utilize every day to get clients. All right. So let me address the first bucket. All right. Know, like, and trust in marketing. All right. Three questions. If the right people knew me, would they like me? They think about that. If the right people saw me and knew me, right? Well, who's the right people? Well, people that align with my values, people who are going to reciprocate when I bring them value, they bring me value, right? Those people, right? If the right people like me, also people who can refer us and introduce us, and they're happy to do that, right? Just like how I met Rebecca. Somebody said, absolutely, I'm going to introduce you to her. She's a rock star. And I introduced her to someone, and we just keep that going, right? If people like me, they will decide to get to know me. Again, they decide. It's not you manipulating. It's not us trying to trick people and do all this stuff. It's just making sure that we put our authentic best foot forward in our posts, comments, engagement. Everything. Every time we speak on a live stream podcast, they hear the same thing over, and I'm like a redneck parrot. That's why I say the same stuff over and over again, because that's what you need to know to grow, to thrive. You don't want to hear all this other stuff. You want to know how to grow. How can I get clients now? All right. And then you nurture those relationships, and then eventually it leads to them to decide to grow that know, like, and trust. Now they're saying, hey, you know what, you may have this the solution I'm looking for. And it's not a pipe dream, this is a formula. It's happened multiple times. I can't tell you how many times I would go out there and do what I'm about to show you and help somebody, right? Help a client, help a friend, help a hound, and then someone else will come by who I've tagged and who I've helped out with this friend and say, "Hey, I need some help. Would you talk to me? Maybe you can help me, maybe you can refer me." Think about this. They're coming to us. What's better? Dropping a net in the ocean, pulling that net up and sorting through all the stuff that you need, right? Or swimming after a fish in the ocean, right? Which one sounds ridiculous, right? We know which one that is. All right. So this is an attraction based. We don't want people to feel uncomfortable because we're good people. We put their best interest first, but we do want them to know, right? And that's that kind of fine line. So let me get to it because I want to make sure you guys get this. I want you to test this. Don't take my word for it. Put it in practice. All right. So here's what I found. When you're a service-based high-level professional and you're trying to help people in your business, maybe it's branding, maybe it's who knows, it could be executive coaching, it really doesn't matter. Okay. It could even be B2B. Here's what I found. The emphasis is usually on content is king, right? Look, I haven't had great content for a year and a half and back in the day, and I would do very, very well. And people say, well, how? Because I shared my crayons first. So I'm going to encourage you and show you some tips mainly on how to engage. We always talk about and hear about, going viral content, viral content. That's good. You can do that in a correct way for you, right? But what about viral commenting? There you go, right? How about that? How about that when we only have a few followers? How about gaining attention? Think about this. When someone actually comments and makes a meaningful comment, and you can tell they didn't use AI. They said, "Hey, Gregory, I love, what you said in this article, A, B, and C." Or they ask you a question. Doesn't that make you feel good? Dadgum straight it does. It makes you feel special, right? Because they actually took the time out of their busy day to read that. And what that does when you do what I'm about to show you is generates curiosity. It brings value. Think about it. You're about to meet somebody that introduced you on a Zoom call. The first thing you do is go out there and use this formula to make them smile, bring them value, connect others with them. They're excited. So then you get on this Zoom call and boy, they really like you, right? Absolutely, because you brought them value, right? How much better is that than going out there and trying to hunt for sales every single day? That you can just go out there, pick the right folks and help them, and they will reciprocate it. It's like when I rattle a bag of dog treats. My dog will run in every time. It's just what she does, right? I'm the same way. When somebody does something good for me, I can't wait to pay it forward because I appreciate it. So that's the key. Every day when we do this formula, this is what I teach. There's only 3 solutions, 3 outcomes. If you continuously work this system, it's clients now, clients later, and people who send you both. How can you lose? Every single day, I'm doing the formula that will either bring me clients now, clients later, or people who will send me both. Wow. So here's my call. When you go out and love on other people's posts in the right way, right, in an effective way, then they go and say, wow, who is this person that week after week or day after day is loving on my post, right? They're bringing me value. Then they go and check out your profile. Here's the question. Does your profile attract and repel? It should do both. It should absolutely do both. It should repel people who just aren't serious, who might book a call. It's not, lots of people doing that who just won't do business, who don't align, right? But does it attract people who can be clients and refer clients, right? That's what we're looking for. And then 3 is content. And I'm going to touch on that a little bit, but here's the tip. Rotisserie chicken. Think about this. If you say a gas station chicken, we've all seen it, right? It rotates. If it stops rotating, what happens? It burns. That's the same with your content. If you talk about the same stuff or you talk about what you do too soon, then we don't get the engagement. We don't get the impressions, right? The algorithm doesn't want to show it. and now people won't see it. So there is a way to do this, and I'm going to give it to you. And test me. I want y'all to write back and let me know how this works. So here's what we're going to do: focusing on outbound engagement, loving on other people's posts. Right? Think of it this way: we're trying to farm and fish. We're not trying to hunt. I don't want to go after, get a sale, do the sale, help the client, go back and do it again and again and again. That's very exhausting. That's why my hairline started falling out. Okay. Because that is extremely, it's like saying, well, I got a lot of likes and that should be enough for people to do business. Well, we're not paid to get likes. We're paid to connect with the person behind that screen to solve problems. So the difference between hunting and fishing and farming. If I took a machine gun and sprayed 8,000 bullets, I can hit something, right? I'm going to hit something. But if I go out there and figure out what squirrels like, because I want a squirrel, and I do the things to attract squirrels, I can read a book 15 minutes, get a squirrel. What sounds better? One has a strategy and a formula, and the other one's just spray and pray, right? That's the difference. So first, find your ideal clients. Yes, I know how to show you. It's actually right under your nose, guys. Finding ideal clients on LinkedIn and other social media, but especially LinkedIn, so much easier than you think. It's been under your nose the whole time. Once we find them, and you know people, just start with people that you know. Start with people that you've seen on LinkedIn that you like their style. You think there's something there, right? You might sell cookies, they might sell milk. I want you to try this, what I'm about to show you. Very simple, but very powerful when you do it every day. So once we find them, what do we do with them? Well, we go out there and we try to find a lot of folks, right? Pushing that boulder up to the peak of the hill, right? Once we get it up to that hill, once we've identified the people that we want to work with, that we want to partner with, right? Then we get that boulder up there. Here's what we all about them. So when we go and love on their stuff, there's a couple things that are very simple but powerful techniques. I call it mirroring. You probably heard of this before. All right. You ever wrote a real meaning? Think about this. You ever wrote a real meaningful comment, on somebody's post, and then they give you that thumbs up in response? Oh man, doesn't that drive you nuts? Right? Yeah, it drives other people nuts. So when you want to make an impression, put your best foot forward. Pay attention to what they said, right? Make an appropriate joke if it's appropriate. Do something to stand out in an organic, natural, authentic way, right? Don't be a sea of grass, right? It's everywhere. Be a diamond. Say, hey, I'm here. All right. And it works. It's that simple. Tag somebody. When people tag me, I go nuts. Could you imagine? I had an attorney the other day and somebody tagged me in there and I tagged 5 attorneys. Guess what? They messaged me. If I had messaged her, I might have got pepper sprayed over Zoom, right? Like we get bombarded with messages all day long from people just trying to sell stuff. I'm not selling anything at this point. I'm just over here bringing value, and that generates curiosity. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments if you got questions, because I want to make sure the mindset is right. Because if you implement what I'm about to show you, very simple stuff, it's going to make a powerful impact. All right. And you won't feel like, oh my God, I hate this. Right. So let the boulder run down the hill. Right. If we do this every single day, now the results start to come in. People get to know, like, and trust us, they see our consistency. And here's the fun part: they expect, write this down, they expect us to say we're great, don't they? I got the best this, I got the best that. I tell you what they don't expect. They don't expect hundreds of different rock stars from all walks of life with reputation to keep saying that about you. And when that happens, holy cow, right? Rebecca doesn't have to run around and say she's great. I say it for her. So many other people do it because I know her, right? I've worked with her. That's how the hounds of business works. Hey, I know this person. They show up for me every day, right? They reciprocate every day or when they can, as much as they can, right? They respect and value me as much as I do them. And we express it through our posts, our comments, offline. It doesn't matter, right? That's how you sink it down. So I'll give you an example. Everybody try this. Okay. I didn't want to keep switching screens. I'm about done, but this is so simple but powerful. And there's so much more to this. So if you practice this or you're ready to go further faster now, I will definitely put my link up there for you guys. Email me. It's the best way. Just say, hey, I'd like to have a chat with you. So we're going to use Rebecca's, because you don't need tons and tons of followers. You'll build them organically, but you want to connect with people who actually want to see you. And you have to protect your brand and your image. And the way you do that is be consistent. So that's why I don't post, entertaining videos every day. It's just not my style. I want people to see my content and things like that, right? And I want to make sure that they see who I am over time. And let me give you another tip. Some of your best folks, especially on LinkedIn, some of your best potential clients, they're watching you. They're called lurkers. They're lurking. They're not going to click like, they're not going to follow you, all right? You're not going to see them, but they're watching you. And you say, "Well, why is that?" I've seen it countless times. People just come out and do business. They're like, "What happened?" Everybody's been screwed by someone, so no one trusts anyone. That's exactly what's happened. Think about it. There's tons of coaches, tons of everybody in every industry. And guess what? You've been burned. You've been, harassed or something, right? It's just the way social media is. So that's why it's so important to follow this system and be authentic and genuine. All right. If you can't do it, it's the wrong person. Try on someone else. So what we're going to do is go to her profile. Now, I want everybody here, since you're on LinkedIn, if you can do it without after the show so you don't lose this. All right. Go to your notifications, click the notification bell, and tell me what you see. Comment or what you see every day. Just stuff, right? Random stuff from people you rang the bell on 10 months ago. And it's just stuff. And our minds as human beings go to our name. I'm looking for me. Who tagged me? Who responded to me? Doesn't make us bad. It's just the way it is. Understand the game. Once you understand the rules and how the game is played, this gets much easier. So, what I want to do is cut through that noise. I want to be seen. When they click that notification bell, I want them to see Mike, Mike, Mike. And how we do that is very simple. Go to the profile and do this with a friend because this works. Scroll down to activity and then click show all post. All right. So there's Rebecca's post from today, right? She put that up there for this event. What I'm going to do at this point, and I'm going to do this once a week, around once a week. And I'm going to go and I'm going to like and comment on the last 5 posts for her whole week. See, if I do it every day, then it just kind of gets lost in the sea of everything, right? In that notification bell. If I do it every week at once, at the same time, at the same day, when Rebecca goes and clicks her notification bell, what's she going to see? Mike, 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 Mike. Now that's called stalking in the offline world, highly discouraged and illegal. But it is absolute gold in business and on social media, because now she's wanting to know who is this person who keeps doing stuff, and never making an ask, never bothering her with stuff. Even if she messaged me, I say, "Hey, I appreciate you and have a good day." Right? Oh, wow. There will be a time for a call to action. We teach that, right? How do we get through without being pushy and salesy? Because that's not who we are, right? How do we be seen and attract people that will say, I want to learn a little bit more, right? That's the systematic process. I'm the coach, you're the quarterback. I call the play, you run the play. Once you master the play, I give you the second play, so forth and so on until we get to that scary sales call. I teach that as well. It's not that scary because they wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have a relationship. Why would that be scary? They know what they want. It's like going to McDonald's and getting mad if you get a cheeseburger. You knew that's why you're there, right? So think of it this way: go out there and make friends, make deposits with people, right? Think about it this way: 100 people playing ping pong. There's 100 ping pong tables a week. Your job when you jump on LinkedIn and social media is simple, guys. You just go out there and hit the ball, right? 100 people. Well, maybe 80 hit the ball back. Well, you hit it back harder. And you keep doing that, right? That triangle, that funnel. And then by the end of the week, you have maybe 15 to 20 people in an Olympic style ping pong table, man. This reciprocity is kicking. And then we take it to the next level, right? Then we take it maybe off of social. Maybe we have a call, right? Maybe we invite them to a audio room, right? There's a systematic approach that we can tailor to help you make this possible. All right. And I learned this the hard way. All right. So if you have any questions on what I just taught you, what I just talked about, practice this. I would say 5 to 10 people a day. All right. Honestly, you can really pull this off with 20, 30 minutes a day starting off on LinkedIn, whether you're new or you're already expert. No kidding, because you don't have time to do much else. Now, if you want faster results, do it more often, right? Like a stove burner, just turn it up and down. But make sure that you're doing it authentically. So you scroll through and you make likes, you make comments, meaningful comments. But what if she has a post I don't really vibe with? I can't make a good comment on. Just click like and keep going. Don't be inauthentic because she's going to sense that, and we're not like that. We're not trying to trick her. We're trying to be seen, right? We're trying to say, hey, I'm like you. I have something that we can work together with. Does that make sense, guys? All right. So profitable reciprocity is really what this is all about, right? Where's the sales pitch is the question I ask all the time, right? I help this person, they brought me something, I brought them something, they introduced me. We get clients, we do joint webinars. They show up to my live streams, I show up to their live streams. Oh, yeah, there's no sales pitch. Why would there be? I helped the lady, we dropped what was it, $60 million deal, what, 2 months ago. It was unbelievable. You know what the big win was for me? Was the two other folks in that industry who reached out afterwards and said, "Hey, thanks for helping us." Well, my focus wasn't on them. Yeah, I helped them, but my focus was on the other lady. But they reached out to me. Ain't that unbelievable? See, that's what we're talking about. So practice this, test me. All right. Now, when it comes to the hounds of business, that supercharges and fast tracks this coaching. That fast tracks learning this formula. So this is the benefit. It's not about you, it's about someone else, right? But eventually, these people I know, they're going to repay it. That's just how it is. It's like Dr. Constance Leland, Level Up Academy. That's peanut butter and jelly. I scratch their back, they scratch ours. We just keep upping the game, and now we're making a huge impact, changing so many lives together, right? It takes them off competitive space. Think about this. Everybody's trying to sell and compete on LinkedIn. Well, now I take them off of the competitive social media space. Now I can go out there and love on them and help them out and push them up and have real conversations and do it joint events like me and Rebecca are doing today, right? Like who are you going to do business with? Somebody who just entertains you on LinkedIn or just kind of knows you, or someone that you have built a relationship and pushed up and worked with for many weeks or months that you actually know on and offline. That's the key. All right. So without harping that, let me wrap this up. In the Hounds of Business too, and you can scan that QR code. Hey, it's free. We are putting in a paid membership; is way past due, but we intend to have a free offering always because I want people to scale up. I don't want you to, be able to. Some people are new, and you may not have a gazillion dollars, and I want you to scale up and get that opportunity. But there are some really great folks in the Hounds of Business. You've seen us promote them on the show. You've seen the folks on our live streams, and we're always looking for good stories, guys. So if you have a great story, that's what we're going to be looking for as well when you join that group call. We'll talk about the hounds. We'll talk about you, get to know you, and try to connect you with people that will, really want to promote your story. And at worst case, hey, I'm the redneck connector, dadgummit. I should be able to introduce you to somebody who can help you out, right? It seems like I know everyone. All right. So there's no loss here. So if you want to email me, love to have a discussion. If you're looking to go further faster on LinkedIn, grow that, get clients, right? And do it in a fun, organic way with like minded people. Number two, join the Hounds of Business Discovery call, guys. People are networking inside of these things. It's unbelievable, right? We're having fun. Uh, and check it out. I don't care if people say yes or no to me. I'm pretty sure Rebecca doesn't either. What we care about, guys, is that you know what the heck you're saying yes and no to. That was the biggest problem in my life. If you're going to make a life changing decision, right, something that could impact your life in a huge way, maybe, maybe not, we want to base that on a little bit of information and misinformation. No, we want to base that on all the possible facts and good info we can get. And that's my calling card. So check out the hounds, check out this. If you're looking to go further faster, connect with me. Otherwise, I appreciate your time. I'm going to bring Rebecca back up here. Let me see. Did I have another slide? Okay, there you go. So when it comes to heart-centered high-level professionals and coaching a community, this is what we have found that they want the most of. All right. And I won't read it all to you. All right. I think I made it clear in the presentation. But have fun. I'm so sick and tired of people thinking it's them. Well, I stink. I can't figure out business. I can't figure out social media. I can't get it done on LinkedIn. Nothing wrong with you. You just don't know what you don't know, and you don't have the support and resources and help to get there. Dadgummit, that's what we're all about. All right. So uh, don't be scared. Courage before confidence. Connect with like-minded winners. We've got Rebecca, all the amazing folks in this chat. Thank you for being in the comments. Thank you for supporting us. And hey, that's all I've got. So let me bring Rebecca back up. Wow. I know I get going, but I have to. I'm so sick of people just thinking they stink and they have something of value, and I want to help them unlock it and share it. I want to see good things happen for good people. What do you think?
That is exactly why I joined the Hounds, and people feel your heart that you are just genuinely interested in helping them elevate their business and their life. And if like-minded entrepreneurs keep linking arms and walking to the top of the mountain together, we're all going to rise. And I'm all about collaboration over competition, or as you say, share your crayons, like we learned in kindergarten. And I'm so
Man,
excited to collaborate with the people who are watching this live, the people who are watching the replay. You might hear it on my podcast. I might just replay this whole live stream. So anybody who's listening, let's connect and collaborate and blaze a pathway of success together.
yes, ma'am. Well said. And again, go out there and have fun. This shouldn't be a bore. This shouldn't stress you out, and it shouldn't bring your dadgum confidence down. It did mine for 2 years, Rebecca. That's why I'm so passionate. Could you imagine being told no and being frowned at for 2 years every day? It sucks. And I
Yeah,
do not want other people experiencing that. So I drove off the cliff 16 times, right? You've had your own experiences that were life
yeah.
changing. And the best possible outcome is to get someone to help you. Learn from other people's experience and mistakes, right? You're a wealth of knowledge. You've been there, you walk the walk, you talk the talk, and that's our calling card. Go out there, get surrounded by people, get pushed up, invest in yourself, invest in things that matter. And we are here to help and serve, guys. Any last comments, Rebecca? Because you're a superstar. I appreciate you.
I just want to thank you, Mike, for agreeing to do this webinar with me so last minute. I just know that my community is so excited to learn from you and how to build on LinkedIn. And thank you for persisting through all the rejection and the no's and the self-doubt that you waded through, and now you're on the other side. And it's so great to learn from you. Thanks for all the people participating in the Hounds of Business and the chat, people from the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant community. And we will be doing more collaborations, more webinars like this to bring you value. And everybody, we're rooting for you, and have a great day.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Hounds of Business, you show up for us. Thank you so much. Connect with me. Hey, send me a carrier pigeon, send me a DM. I'm all good. Love connecting. Have a great day. Thank you for